our organization, and we have actually gone out to about 150 of them, gone to the properties and made sure that they're complying with the regulations, that they're only selling at farmers markets what they produce themselves. So we are doing that work. We've taken that upon ourselves. We haven't raised the fees of our producers in our markets, and we're allocating those resources to do that work because we find it of critical importance, and I'm going to say a little bit more about why that is in a minute. So we are at a very critical and exciting point in time in the local and sustainable food system development in California. And we are, as Californians, increasingly knowing our farmers and knowing our food. We've heard a lot about that today. It's essential to many current and local food system initiatives that we have, that farmers are able to sell their products directly to consumers. And I think there's no question that direct marketing is going to continue with some changes and adjustments. As you know, in response to the growth and development of new direct marketing opportunities, Secretary of Agriculture Karen Russ established a direct marketing ad hoc committee, and I served on that committee with these two gentlemen here, and we're going to see the results of that committee's work soon. It's going to come out in a report. So I'm not going to speak to the certified farmers market piece of that report, mainly because it is still being worked on, but I am going to talk from the organization that I work for, as a perspective, Agricultural Institute of Marin. Like I said, we've been operating certified farmers markets in the Bay Area for 3 decades, so we have kind of a sense of what's gone on in the history of certified farmers markets, and we have a huge investment in making them successful across the state. What I hope you'll walk away with today is a greater understanding of the challenges facing certified farmers markets, but also that we can and need to develop efficient and cost-effective solutions that balance appropriate legislation, adequate regulation, and enhance better coordination across the state. I think that's one of the main issues that I'm going to identify here. The certified farmers markets, you probably know, are a very old program, 35 years old, started by then Governor Jerry Brown, who's now our governor again. And they've been absolutely essential to the viability of small and mid-sized farmers in the state of California. I would argue that we probably wouldn't have all the small and mid-sized farms that we still have without this direct marketing opportunity called certified farmers markets. And just on an educational note, we've all talked about the value of farmers and consumers connecting with one another. And it really, truly does build community. Farmers markets are a vehicle for public education and also about nutrition. We also educate about supporting local economies and buying from local businesses. And most importantly, we educate about agriculture. We have people really understanding the challenges that farmers face. So I'm going to speak quickly to the challenges that my organization sees happening within the Certified Farmers Market Program. Essentially, from the mid-2000s to the present, the number of certified farmers markets in the state doubled. It went from about 350 to 800 certified farmers markets. And with that doubling, we didn't see a growth in enforcement capacity. So there's this gap. So that's one of the challenges certified farmers markets are facing. The budgets of ag departments to do the work, to do the enforcement and investigation related to certified farmers markets and certified producers, their capacity varies from county to county, and that's a function of how things were set up, that the Board of Supervisors is empowered to determine whether or not the ag departments charge fees or not for their investigation and enforcement work. So you have a great variation from county to county in terms of enforcement capacity. That's a challenge. There are some bad actors. There are some people who would utilize this incredible opportunity to sell directly to consumers. And one example is what happened in Southern California a couple years ago with the LANDC expose story revealing that there were some people selling at markets who were selling product that they bought to be sold. So that is an issue. I think it's a few bad apples, but it can certainly spoil the whole apple cart, so we need to address that. Ag inspectors can't cross county lines. That's another challenge. So the need for cooperation and coordination between ag departments is really critical, because you might have a producer in one county and they're selling in multiple other counties. So in order to actually be able to see, connect the dots, know what's going on, you actually have to have real coordination between the ag departments. And sometimes that's happening in a really effective way, and sometimes it's not. And I'll just identify challenge, which is that we looked at this and served on a couple of different committees, the Certified Farmers Market Advisory Committee and the Direct Marketing Committee, and we really looked at what would it be like for enforcement to be done by state staff, primarily by state staff. And it's really, if you look at the numbers, it's really too costly to be borne by certified producers. This program is funded by fees that are collected from certified producers, and we're talking sometimes farmers who make $10,000, $15,000 a year. So we have to bear that in mind. So recommendations for legislation. One thing that our committee discussed, which our organization also thinks is a very effective strategy that could be enacted through legislation, is increased penalty for fraud and misrepresentation at certified farmers markets, basically having a bigger stick, so to speak. A very modest increase in fees charged per certificate to be remitted to the state, but specifically directed to county ag departments so that they have some more enforcement capacity, because they are really the local agencies that are most closely connected to the certified producers. And one of the last things I want to leave you with is this idea of developing and investing in a third-party compliance inspection model. I think, it takes time. There are many examples of third-party solutions out there, and we are certainly looking at them. I think there's a great deal of interest among the certified farmers market community to develop these models. There are other organizations like ours that are doing their own compliance inspections, and they're being effective. We've actually found that our farmers appreciate it because we're closer to them, and we're actually wanting to support them and see them be successful. I did give a one-pager, so hopefully you'll have some